you guys have this unfortunate symbol, it says coolant low, and of course the battery saver mode, which has been on forever, that I don't have a clue what's doing that. But anyway, low coolant. If you have this on your truck, this is a 2014 Ram 3500 with the 6.7 liter Cummins diesel. I have replaced coolant level sensors a couple times just to see if that would fix this, because the coolant reservoir is not low. It's not using any coolant. There's no issue with low coolant. But I got on the internet and did quite a bit of research, and it seems as if if it's not your coolant level sensor, which is just a simple sensor that plugs into the bottom of your coolant reservoir, replace those a couple times. The first time it worked, stayed off for about a couple weeks, and then it came right back on. Changed it again, didn't help at all. Seems to be the problem is your coolant reservoir. This vehicle actually has, as you can see, 216,000 miles, and it's been on. My coolant reservoir light has been on for months, if not maybe a year. And I'm finally going to get around to hopefully fixing it. So evidently in your tank, in your coolant reservoir tank, it gets, over the years, it just gets buildup of who knows what, and then there's a magnet in the bottom of it that your coolant reservoir sensor kind of senses the float of a magnet up and down, and it gets stuck inside your reservoir, and you pretty much got to replace your reservoir after a certain amount of time. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to kind of make a video showing you how to do it, just a quick overview. Shouldn't be too difficult. I've watched a few videos. It's more like you take it apart, you put it back together. So hopefully this video will help people. If you've already tried, what I would do is I would try to replace the sensor first. If that doesn't work, the sensor's super cheap. You can get them for like 20 bucks on Amazon, maybe even less than that. So I'll put a link to the ones I replaced it. But the reservoir, I'll put a link to the reservoir that I found on Amazon also. And hopefully this will get rid of my low coolant light. Here is the coolant reservoir. As you can tell, it's dark stained. It's hard to actually see the level, but the level is good. I've checked it numerous times, and it's always just low coolant without the low coolant level being actually low. So what you've got to do, you got to remove the battery. You'll take your battery post off, got to remove the battery. The box that the battery sits in, you've got to take it off also, take it out. This air box has got to come out, so I'll have to look 70 bolts that is. You'll have to take the air box out, you'll have to unplug your sensor, and you'll have to take this hose out, I believe, just to right there. Of course, I've gotten rid of some stuff here, so it's not quite as much in the way on this side, but we'll have to remove this so you can get this out. You'll have to take your hoses off the top. You'll also need to remove this fender liner. I have taken this fender liner off 2 or 3 times when I replace those sensors, because the sensor actually just plugs in right underneath here. But you have to take this fender liner out, and there's some bolts underneath here that you can't get to from the top that you'll have to get to on the battery box and the reservoir. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take those out, just pretty much battery box, air filter, and pipe. All that's got to come out so you can get to the reservoir. And then on the bottom of the reservoir, you've got your hose. You got to take that clamp off. I'm probably going to make a mess. Unfortunately, I may try to siphon as much of this fluid out from the top that I can, so I'm not spilling as much as possible from the bottom. But should only have to replace what's in the jug. So your hose from the bottom of the jug going to your radiator, that should stay, full of fluid. And then once you refill the tank, shouldn't be any air issues or anything like that. So should be fairly simple. It's just, kind of a pain in the butt. You got to remove a whole bunch of crap just to get this out and replace it. But, got some time today, and it's time to get it done. So let me show you the new reservoir. Here is the new one. This is not an OEM reservoir. It's an aftermarket, but I don't see, a big deal in not having to get a Mopar or whatever it is, reservoir. So it comes with the lid and everything. It's got the sensor already in the bottom of it. That is the sensor that you'll replace if you want to try that first before having to replace this whole tank. And as you can hear, That rattling should be, there's like a float inside there that for the level, and this sensor kind of senses that float. It's magnetic, I believe, and trash gets built up in the bottom of this thing, and it just, that where that sensor doesn't float anymore, and it just says it's low all the time. So I believe that's the problem. Hopefully that's the problem. That's what I've read and stuff. So I'm going to start taking it apart. We're going to replace it, and hopefully everything works. We got it out. So I will tell you, the battery box itself, it's kind of hooked to the solenoid over there. So you'll just have to kind of, once you get it undone, you'll move the air box completely out of the way, and then you'll just kind of tilt the battery box up and move it. And then once you do that, you just take the hoses, these two hoses off the top. I will have to get some new clamps because I believe those are just kind of a one-use type clamp. I'll run and get some and put it on there, the smaller ones though. Take the two hoses off the top, and then on the bottom is, this is the hose that was on the bottom. I've zip tied it up because you're gonna make a mess. There's no question about it. We got the majority of it out with a pump, but once you take that bottom hose off the bottom, it just pours out. I mean, it's got some in the hose. You try to hold it up, it still comes out for the time being. But once you get that out and it stops, you get it drained out, there's just 3 bolts on the actual tank. There's 1 there and 2 at the top. You take those off, pull them out, it comes right out the bottom. Or actually, you can take it out the top too. I think I took it off the top, but so it's not that difficult, just a little time consuming. You got to remove a bunch of little wire grommets and stuff off this box so you can turn it around and pull it out. But once you got it out, here's the old one. As you can tell, it's rough. I mean, it's got like trash all in the bottom of it, and you don't hear that thing going up and down. So I may run get some more heat shield or see if I can take that off and maybe spray it and glue it back on the new one because it didn't come with the heat shield. But I think that's mainly for the turbos. Not too close, but it's fairly close, but I'm gonna put the heat shield back on it. But now we are ready to put the new one back in. Just stick it back in and put the bolts on it, and then hook the hoses up to the bottom to the top and put it all back together. I got everything back together, got the new reservoir in. Actually went back together pretty simple. You can do this if you can just try to remember, take pictures. There's only a couple connectors that plugs in. Now this truck has had some stuff removed, so I'm not exactly sure what might be on a stock truck versus a non-stock truck as far as plug-ins, and you might have a little more stuff in the way here, but just make a note of what you unplugged and move the wires a little bit out of the way where the connectors are. It's pretty simple. It goes back together. You've got a couple little push pins with some wires on it that goes into some places like on the battery box. But as long as you can, it's pretty simple. It goes right back together the same way you took it apart. Actually, this took me less time than I was expecting. I mean, it didn't take very long at all. Hardest part, the air box is there's 2 little grommets that go into the battery box. So you just got to once you get the hose off the battery or the air box, it just pulls up, pops up out of there. Takes a couple, 1 bolt out here, but it's all back together. I did this yesterday. I had to wait on my antifreeze to get here last night via Amazon, and I'll put a link there too. So I got Mopar antifreeze. It's what it requires, the 10-year antifreeze in the owner's manual. So I'll flip it around now and kind of show you guys what we got going on here. All right, there is the new reservoir. I've filled it up with Mopar antifreeze, which is the 10-year ready to roll antifreeze. You just pour it in there. It takes, I will tell you, we did make a mess because when you take that bottom hose off of it, there's the tires kind of in the way and you can't really get a bucket. We had a funnel and I tried to, because we got sucked most of the fluid out of it with a pump, but we couldn't get all of it because it's kind of hard. You fill up a couple of these over here first before this one starts filling up. It's because it's a little bit different, but got it filled up, wiped up everything. The hose that goes from the bottom that goes into the radiator, whenever you take it off, you're not just getting the remainder out of the reservoir tank, you're getting stuff that's in the hose that kind of bubbles back that flows back out too. So I let it come out a minute, then kind of held it up to, and then kind of zip tied it to right here, just to kind of hold it up, to hold as much fluid in it as possible. Got everything back in it. Filled it up with antifreeze. It takes a little over a gallon. I'll probably put a gallon and, I don't know. I mean, not much more than a gallon. It didn't take too much more than a gallon of antifreeze. So anyway, we're set. Filled it up to the fill mark. And you can tell when you fill it with your antifreeze, you'll hear air bubbles like glug, 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 just from going down through the tubes and then, you know, stuff like that. So let that do that until it's done gurgling, and then pour the more and get it right to the top to where it is. So put your battery back in it, air box back on it, everything's hooked up the way it's supposed to be, couple plugs back in it. Put the fender liner back on. The fender liner, you'll probably have to get a couple little push pins that you're gonna have to pop off, and they break, like those little things. You can go to Advanced Auto Parts. Actually, I did when I went to AutoZone, got a couple of those. I just took one to try to get ones pretty much exactly the same, and I got a pack of like 3. And I went ahead and got new hose clamps. I just got regular hose clamps for these 2 hoses, and the main hose is on the bottom. Take one with you, take the one that pops off with you just to get new hose clamps. And I also got some new heat shield. This tank did not come with the heat shield, and when I took the heat shield off that, it's got fabric on the inside of it, and I don't think it's going to stick very well. So I got a sheet of heat tape with a liner on it at AutoZone. AutoZone had everything I need, so I got the heat shield and the 3 hose clamps and some push pins to replace those push pins that are broken or whatnot, and then the clamps. So it didn't take 5 minutes down the street to AutoZone. Hopefully it's that close to you, but this thing's ready to be fired up. Hopefully the light's going to go off. So we're gonna hope. All right. It better go off anyway. It's gonna be aggravating if it doesn't. Which that popped up just because I may have, you know, I've been messing with it. That'll go off there. Good to go. No low coolant light. And actually my battery saver mode light is not on, so it usually has been staying on for a long time. So hopefully that had something to do with that also. But anyway, guys, seemed to work. I'll put the links on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description from the stuff for the reservoir, the coolant, all that good stuff. So it looks like it fixed it. And I'll update if something doesn't work, or if it comes back on, I'll update the video again just to let you know. But so far so good. And I did unhook the battery, so I don't think my radio stations are reading it yet. No, I think they're fine. So, but anyway, if you haven't, subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it, and we will talk to you next, or see you next time.